This video is sponsored by Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. The best example of how fast technology is changing, besides Mario Lopez aging backwards before our eyes, this guy's either the devil or the cure for aging's patient zero. Either way, I think he eats babies. Fetal stem cell cocktail, something. I don't know. Anyway, iPhones. You're looking to upgrade, it's because of the camera, but before you plonk down $1,200, you want to know, 1, is it worth it? 2, seriously, a eating babies joke right at the top of the episode? Yeah, that's the channel. That's the niche I'm carving out. I went out and took a bunch of test shots with the 12 Pro Max and my 11 Pro Max that's cracked, don't mind that. And I'm gonna show you the results, including one surprising thing that doesn't look good for the new 12, so stick around to the end to find out what that is. Or if you're in a rush, you can hit the description and there's some chapters and you can skip ahead. I'm comparing it to an 11 Pro Max because the person upgrading to a 12 Pro or 12 Pro Max is probably basing their decision mostly on screen size. And besides, from all the reviews that I've seen, people can't tell the difference in the camera between the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max. The person wondering if they should upgrade to a 12 something is probably coming from an 11 something. And the burning question they want to know is it worth an upgrade? That's the question I'm going to answer. Let's jump in. The thing I was most excited about is this image stabilization. They copied the mirrorless world and decided to move the sensor around, which is supposed to be even more stable. So I took it out on a hike and I did some side-by-side tests. I was really hoping to see a big difference with the 12 Pro Max, but as you can see, they look really, really similar. They're really smooth. They're both great. I just thought maybe the 12 Pro would give me that extra smooth footage, and really, it's no different than the 11 Pro Max. I thought I saw a better stabilization on this shot, but I think it was really my hand just being steadier, and if it's too close to call, then it's not really worth an upgrade for this feature alone. Fortunately, there are other things to look at, like its performance in low light, which is super obvious when you pause the footage and zoom in and take a look at the pixelization on the 11 Pro Max. Clearly, the 12 Pro Max is doing a much better job. Apple says the new lens is 87% better in low light. I don't know if this is 87% better, but you know, it's definitely better. In regular light situations, honestly, I could not tell the difference between these cameras. Even in twilight, the 11 Pro Max held up really well. But the better low light performance of this new chip is going to show up most when shooting slow motion. Here's a couple of shots in daylight. Equally awesome jumps from the dog, but also if I didn't know what camera these came out of, I wouldn't be able to tell. It's when you get in low light conditions like this that it's really obvious. And not just with less noise, but that new LiDAR sensor lets the 12 Pro Max grab focus when the 11 just can't do it. I would never normally shoot slow motion in a setting this dark, but the 12 Pro Max is actually making me rethink that. It's way better, maybe even 87% better. I wonder if these lens flares that are specific to phone cameras will ever be considered beautiful, like anamorphic lens flares. Probably not. Here's a couple of photos done in night mode, and this is where sensor shift for stabilization really comes into play. Night mode is essentially a long exposure mode, and if you're doing that handheld, stabilization becomes extremely important. This was shot with the telephoto lens, and you can see the 12 retains all that information in her hair, where the 11, it's just mush. My iPhone had an issue that I found on the forums was actually pretty common, but real quick, I just want to thank the sponsor, Skillshare, for giving my subscribers, the first 1,000 who click the link in the description, a free trial of Skillshare Premium. If you're interested in taking your iPhone videography to the next level, Skillshare is 1000% the place to do it. There are so many amazing creators who have done classes for Skillshare. I took YC Imaging's class on preparing for a shoot. You can find some of these things on his YouTube page, but what's nice about Skillshare is that it's all laid out in a curriculum. There's course materials and projects for you to do. So at the end of it, it's not just some idea, it's an actual practical skill. What's it worth to save hours a month? If you saved 1 hour a month using Skillshare, it would pay for itself because you're worth way more than $10 an hour, and Skillshare is only $10 a month. Yeah, highly recommend. Okay, so I'm personally super happy with the upgrade, but I'm also someone that uses the camera on the phone a ton, and I love doing slow motion. I'm always wishing that it had better low light. So for me, this was a great upgrade coming from even just the 11. Any farther back than an 11, I would say absolutely, yes, upgrade. Just do it. It's a way better camera. If you're just an average picture taker, you know, you can probably pass. In good light situations, it's really hard to tell the difference. The selfie cam, I couldn't tell any difference. But hey, if you're at the club all the time and the lights are dim and you want to take photos, this iPhone 12 Pro Max specifically is going to be your best bet. All right, so this issue I was having is with the screen. When I was out shooting all the footage for this video, I noticed that it was harder to see the monitor on the 12. It was a little dark, and I compared it to the 11 and I put them side by side. I put them both up to max brightness, and the 12 could not get as bright. I thought perhaps maybe I'd been using the 12 more and it was overheating, and so maybe that was the issue. But later on, I actually tried it again and I matched these up a bunch of times at max brightness, and my iPhone 11 Pro Max screen is brighter. As I was making this video and having all my screen issues, Apple actually admitted that they are investigating screen issues, including flickering and a green tint. I personally was having more of a warm tone and no flickering, but brightness and lack thereof was my main complaint. I'm gonna be turning mine back in for exchange. When you're out in the bright sunshine shooting video, you gotta have a screen that's super bright. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps the algorithm. Also, leave a comment and let me know if this helped you make your decision. For people new to my channel, I'm a comic, filmmaker, and futurist, and I do videos on all those topics. So check out the channel and consider subscribing.